Hi, I am Pudifalal. Welcome to yet another class of biology. Today we will discuss about the microorganism of standard 8. Already in our previous class we discussed about the microorganism, its definition, the types of microorganism and the microscope. Now first one, when we discuss about the microorganism, first we have to read about some important lines relating to the microorganism. How can judge the microorganism? Most of the microorganisms are the unicellular, or microorganism can be formed by the single cell. Even few microorganisms are the multicellular in nature. For an example, yeast is the unicellular, whereas the mushroom or agaricus are the multicellular. So microorganism can be unicellular or the multicellular. We can observe the microorganism by the help of microscope. This is the second line. The third one, microorganism can stay single or they can form the colony. This is the third point. Fourth one, microorganism can be found in every environmental condition or climatic condition. It can be present in the winter region or the summer region. It also can be present in air, water or the soil. But microorganism specifically performing the enzymatic reaction. And for the enzymatic reaction, they require the optimum temperature that lies between the 28 to 36. So the interaction of the microorganism are quite faster in that region where the temperature is lies between the 22 to the 36. These are the characteristics of microorganism. Today we are going to discuss about the microorganism and its types. On the basis of behavior of microorganism, the microorganism are two types. It may be the friendly or the unfriendly. Friendly or the unfriendly microorganism. What are the friendly microorganisms? The microorganisms which are quite beneficial, or if the microorganism plays important role for the human society or maintains the healthy relationship with the human beings, they are termed as a friendly microorganism. Whereas the microorganisms are quite harmful for the human society, either they creating the disease or the spoils our food, they are termed as a unfriendly microorganism. It's the harmful microorganism. Now, there are several microorganisms present in our surroundings. They can produce some important things for the human society. The first one, for the making of card. For making of card, we are using one type of specific microorganism or bacteria that known as a Lactobacillus lacti. So Lactobacillus lacti is used for the preparation of curd. And to prepare the curd, just take some amount of milk, boil it and keep it in the cold place. And during this period, add some amount of old curd. We are adding the old curd, it means we are adding the Lactobacillus lacti. And after adding the old curd, the milk will be converted into the curd after 7 to 8 hours. This is the process by which we can prepare the curd. Now, in the preparation of curd, temperature plays important role. That's why we boil the milk to kill the pathogen or to provide the optimum temperature for the reaction. The second one, yeast are the microorganisms which are also friendly in nature. Generally, the yeast performing the anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration means the respiration occurs at the absence of atmospheric air. And mostly we know that yeast are performing the fermentation. Fermentation is a type of anaerobic respiration where the glucose is converted into the organic acid. or ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol and produce some amount of carbon dioxide. So in case of the preparation of alcohol, we are using the yeast. For an example, during the lab activity, you will observe that we will take some amount of sugar, some amount of water in a beaker, and we will mix the sugar into the water, and we will give the some drop of yeast powder and keep it for the 3 to 4 hours, or the after 3 to 4 hours we can smell the solution, then it can produce the alcoholic smell. So yeast are useful for the preparation of alcohol. Even the yeast are used for the bakery industry for the preparation of bread. The third one, the medicinal use. There are lots of microorganism present which produce some useful chemical substance that can be used as a medicine. And antibiotic is a type of medicine which can be produced from the friendly microorganism. Generally, some useful bacteria and fungi, from their body parts we can extract some chemical substance which can inhibit the growth of another fungi or the bacteria. They are termed as antibiotics. We know that the Alexander Fleming first prepared one type of antibiotic that is known as a penicillin. So how can we prepare the penicillin? From the FungiPenicillium, the scientific name is Penicillium notatum. We can produce the antibiotic penicillin. This is a type of antibiotic. Similarly, some bacteria also can produce the antibiotic. For an example, from the bacteria Bacillus, we can produce the antibiotic bacitacin. From the bacteria Streptomyces, we can produce the streptomycin. All are the antibiotic. Now the next, the vaccine. We know about the immunity system. Generally within our body, some specific blood cell, mainly the WBC cell present, which can protect us from the disease. Now, suppose in our childhood, from the age between 1 years to the 5 years, we are intaking the oral polio vaccine to protect from taking the protection from the polio. Now, what is vaccine? Vaccine means generally weak or dead portion of harmful microorganism or disease-causing microorganism of a specific disease that going to be inserted in our body. Now our blood cell will react for the dead or weak portion and create the advanced immunity for the protection of the active disease or active disease that known as a vaccine. And the process by which we are taking the vaccine that known as a vaccination. Now there are present some vaccine. For an example, for the polio, we are taking the oral polio vaccine. For tuberculosis, we are taking the BCG vaccine. All of the vaccine. Now next, microorganism also plays important role for the cleaning of environment. We know that in our surroundings there are present the lots of dead and decay materials. But after few days, where we cannot observe them, they are the vanished. But how? Generally, some saprophytic microorganisms lay on the dead and decay materials and discharge some enzymes, degradative enzymes, which breaks down the dead and decay materials into the smallest piece and mix with the soil by the process of decomposition. Even some saprophytic, some anaerobic bacteria some anaerobic bacteria can degrade the human wastage into the biogas, and the remaining portion can be used as a manure. This is the cleaning process. Now, after that there is a question. Write 10 useful lines about the microorganism or their rules. So you have to mention the 10 useful microorganisms and their role. For an example, you have to write the first one, Lactobacillus lacti is used for the preparation of curd. The second one, Acetobacter aceti are used for the preparation of vinegar. We know that the third one, we know that the bacterium rennin can help into the production of cheese. So these are the three microorganisms and their role. Similarly, the yeast is used for the production of alcohol. These are the fourth. The fifth one, yeast are also used for the production of bread. The sixth one, agaricus or mushroom can be used as a food. The seventh one from the FungiPenicillium, we can produce the antibiotic penicillin, can be used for the fungal infection. From the bacteria Bacillus, we can produce the bacitacin. From the bacteria Streptomyces, we can produce the streptomycin. And we know that some microorganisms can increase the soil fertility, generally in the leguminous plant or the pea plant. It's the Renikoff, it's the Rabikoff, generally are cultivated on the winter season. Now, some symbiotic bacteria present in their root and forms the noodle shaped structure. This bacteria are generally known as the rhizobium. This rhizobium can capture the atmospheric nitrogen and mix with the soil. Now the plant are going to absorb the water and the minerals from the soil by the help of the root, and in the exchange of this nitrogen, plant are providing some amount of food. This type of relationship are termed as a symbiotic relationship. So in the ninth one, the symbiotic bacteria rhizobium can fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Next, similarly, the blue-green algae also can fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So these are two which help in the soil increasement of the soil fertility. Now the harmful microorganism or the unfriendly microorganism. So some microorganism can destroy or spoil our food or can create the disease. They are termed as a harmful microorganism or unfriendly microorganism. The first one, how the microorganism spoils our food. Generally, if the food materials contain some amount of moisture, that will promote the growth of saprophytic microorganism. And they will discharge some amount of toxic substance which change the taste of the food and makes the sour it. So by the growth of microorganism can sour or can spoil our food. Even there are several microorganisms which can create the disease. Generally, the disease causing microorganisms are known as a pathogen. And what is the disease? Disease means the critical condition which affects our health, which affects our well-being condition, that known as a disease. After the birth, there are the several amount of microorganisms can creating the disease. They are known as a aquatic disease. Now this disease can be transmitted from infected person or the person having having the disease to a normal person, that known as a communicable disease or infectious disease, or the disease that generally belongs to the individual one, that known as a non-communicable disease or not infectious disease, non-infectious disease. Now, there are several microorganisms which are able to create the disease. First one, we know about the common cold, which are caused by the flu virus. Someone having the common cold. When the flu virus enter into our body, the person are feeling some amount of cough or getting the headache or the weakness, even the sneezing problem. These are the symbol of disease or the symptoms. Similarly, influenza virus also can causes the influenza. Polio virus can causes the polio. HIV virus, human immunovirus, can causes the AIDS. Now, these are all the virus which can create the disease. Several amount of bacteria also can causes the disease. For example, Vibrio cholerae can causes the cholera. The next one, Diplococcus pneumoniae can causes the pneumonia. Mycobacterium tuberculosis can causes the tuberculosis. Salmonella typhi can causes the typhoid of the Mycobacterium typhi. Next, E. coli and Salmonella togetherly can causes the food poisoning. Next, the fungi mostly causes the skin infection. There is a common fungi that known as the Alternaforma that can causes the ringworm in case of the males. Now, several protozoans also can causes the disease. For example, Plasmodium causes the malaria. Typhozoma can causes the sleeping sickness. So these are the microorganisms which are responsible for creating the several type of disease. Now, we know about the infectious disease. So these diseases can be communicated from the infectious person to a normal person. Now, how this disease can be transmitted? Now, this disease can be transmitted directly or indirectly. If the disease directly transmit from an infected person to a normal person, that's known as a direct transmission. For example, by the use of infectious needle. If someone having the AIDS, suppose, or some severe disease, and the doctor are using the single needle to inject the several person. Now, sometimes this needle, the same needle, are going to be inserted into the infectious or the infected person. So some pathogen will be attached into the needle. Without the proper cleaning, if this needle is used to a normal person, then directly this disease can be transmitted. Or the indirect transmission. In sometimes the pathogen will discharge or when the infectious person are going to discharge the pathogen into the environmental elements or in some infectious or insect, then they are going to infect the another person, that known as the indirect transmission. For example, suppose the disease which caused by the contaminated water, the cholera. Someone having the cholera. Now his excreta or the dirty clothes are thrown down to the watery land or the pond. Now this water are going to be consuming by others. So he is consuming the contaminated water or the water containing the pathogen. Now cholera's pathogen will enter into his body if the immunity are hit, if the infectious agent overcome the immunity, then can causes the cholera. Now, it's another one, contamination through the air. It's also a indirect transmission. Now, some insect also plays important role for the spreading of disease. Now we know that housefly is an insect which help to spread the different type of disease. Generally, these insects are two types. One is the vector, another one is the carrier. Carrier means those which carries the disease, or several diseases are going to be carried by them. Housefly is a carrier. Generally, housefly can be found in the dirty places, or in dustbins or in drains. They sat on that place, feeds on that place, and multiply or increase their amount in that place. So during this time, there are the several pathogens of several diseases like cholera, typhoid, diarrhea. They can be attached with the wings or legs of the housefly. Now this housefly fly on our food. So this pathogen will be live in our food materials. And when we eat these food materials, they will be enter into our body and creating the disease. And another one, that is the mosquito. Generally, mosquito is a specific type of carrier, but it is known as a vector. Why? Because this carries the specific pathogen, or this pathogen will stay inside the body of a mosquito, and the pathogen will spend some time or some life phase within its body. That's why it is a vector. Now we know that the female mosquito suck our blood and help to spread the disease. There are the three types of mosquito. Generally, the female Anopheles mosquito help to spread the malaria, which are caused by the Plasmodium. It's a protozoan. The female culex help to spread the filaria, which are caused by the Wuchereria banthophyta worm. And the third one, the most important one, the Aedes. The female Aedes mosquito carries the pathogen of dengue and spread the dengue disease. But how this mosquito spread this type of disease? Suppose someone having the infectious disease or the malaria, the mosquito will suck the infectious blood or infectious person blood, then the pathogen will enter into the body of the mosquito, and it will take some times, normally the 22 to 48 hours. Now after getting this time, the pathogen will be mature one, and suddenly this mosquito are going to suck the blood from a normal person, and this pathogen will enter into the normal person body, and when the pathogen enter into the normal person body, then this pathogen can cause the disease, or this Plasmodium or the malarian parasite can cause the disease. So these are the microorganisms. Some are the useful or some are the